Hello there, I'm Gary Long coming to you from the Music Spot Music Store in Conway, South Carolina. What you just heard is the voice of this beautiful vintage chestnut mandolin made right here in Conway by Mr. Jennings Chestnut. Now, Mr. Chestnut was pretty famous in the bluegrass community as a maker of fine instruments, particularly the mandolin, and he was also the originator of the Bluegrass on the Waccamaw Festival that we had up till a couple of years ago and hope to get going again real soon. Mr. Chestnut, this particular mandolin was one he built in 1983. Its original owner was Danny Stanley, a pretty well-known bluegrass musician, known as a member of Carolina Sunshine and other bands, and he played it up until 2 years ago when I got it from him. This mandolin, as I say, has been played, and it has some signs of wear on it. There are cracks in the varnish on the top and on the back, and a little bit right here at the crook of the neck, but they are all just surface varnish cracks. I like to call them character cracks because if the light hits those cracks just right, it actually looks pretty cool. But as I say, there's nothing wrong with all the wood is solid and in good shape. Although chestnut mandolins are pretty rare in themselves, he made less than 80 in his lifetime. This one and the two that he made with it, he used to make them in batches of 3. This one and its two sisters, I don't know if you can see that, but that's bird's eye maple on the back. He usually used curly maple for his back, and this one has curly maple on the sides, but bird's eye maple in the back, and it's really beautiful, and it's one of only 3 that he made using that particular wood. Mr. Chestnut has 2 of his mandolins are residing in museums. Excuse me, a truck passing by. 2 of Mr. Chestnut's mandolins are residing in museums. One right here in Horry County in the Horry County Museum in the Folk Music exhibit, and the other is in the McKissick Museum at the University of South Carolina. And if you have any interest, you can look up online. There is an article from many years ago when Mr. Chestnut was still with us about him and his making of mandolins. If you Google Jennings Chestnut Mandolin, McKissick Museum, University of South Carolina, or some variation of that, you should be able to find that article without much trouble if you're curious about Mr. Chestnut and the making of and his process of making mandolins and things like that. Anyway, this is the beautiful chestnut mandolin 1983 that I have right here at the Music Spot in Conway, South Carolina. Thank you for your time.